Tell me what the keywords are to pick out. You have the last one as something as the. Okay. The sum of a number and 5 is tripled. The result is 1 less than twice the number. Find the number. Oh, that's a fun variable. Find the number. The number is x. That's always fun. Let x equal the number. And that's the only let statement on that one. And now we just have to dig through. It says the sum. What do I always have you put around the sum? Parentheses. So do sum of a number and 5 is tripled. What does tripled mean? Times 3. So that sum is tripled, so we do 3 times that sum. Number and 5. What goes inside number and 5?
X plus 5.
Sum. 5 plus x or x plus 5. The result is equals 1 less than end. It goes at the end. Twice the number. 2x minus 1. Excellent. So we went through, make sure you have parentheses. Is equal, less than goes at the end. I'm trying to make that and into a end. Okay, so here we go. We have 3x plus 15 is equal to 2x minus 1. Subtract over 2x and we get 1x. Subtract over 15 and we get negative 16. Now, negative 16 is at the x. Do we have to plug it in at all? Nope. So negative 16 is the number. Perfect. Hope you all know I'm going through the equations quickly because I know you guys can do your equations now. The start and the end.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so my thing is that you're setting up and then you're doing the right thing with the answer today. But if you're not sure how I get something in the equation, always let me know. Because we're doing well on time. I think we have 3 more problems. We'll do just fine. Okay, wow, this one looks really long. So let's just get a general idea. Let's kind of skim through it, then go to the last sentence. All right, recent election, House of Representatives. We have one candidate here that might be important, and I see another name here. I don't have to try to pronounce them, but I know they're important. It says total. What does total mean? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Add. Let's put a plus sign over it. Okay, and this is was means equal. That's just the past tense of is. And it says find the number of votes. It says find. Let's highlight it. For each candidate is important. So the general idea, I didn't even read it, but what's the general idea of this problem? Find votes. There's an election. How many people are running? 2. And the total votes, we know how many that was. All right, and we know that 2 people were listed. So who gets the variable? John, because he is the last person listed. So let's highlight John and kind of circle him and say he's the last one listed. So let x equal John's, and I'm going to be specific, number of votes because that's what it says in there. Number of votes. If you want to abbreviate number, I'm okay with that. So now we have to base Jerry is the other name up there, his votes off of John. Now it says Jerry received 20,196 more. What does more mean? Add. So we are going to add to the x. Now I do have to say, could we also make x for Jerry and then subtract 20,196 to get to John? Absolutely. We'll get the same answer. So it's not a huge issue right there. Remember, math, there's multiple ways to get to the final answer. That's always great. Jerry's number of votes. Have you guys seen those little tick marks before? Okay, all I mean is I'm imitating everything that's underneath it or above it. So it means number of votes without writing it again. It's a shortcut. All right, now we said the total, so we're going to add those together and set it equal to 196,554. Okay, so let's add them together. 1x plus 1x gives us how many x's? Is equal to the 196,554. Okay, I am going to subtract over, and we get 176,358. And then I'm going to divide by what? 2. I'm going to get x equals 88,179. Now x is a straight number of John's votes. And then to get to Jerry's, we're going to add 20,196. So John received 88,176 votes, while Jerry received 108,375 votes.
Wait, is it 88,179?
Yes. Do you have to word it exactly like me? No, as long as it's in a sentence form, please. Okay, here we go. 2 angles are supplementary. Ooh, should we write down 90 degrees or 180 degrees? 180 degrees on right underneath that. Very good. Maybe we're even going to draw ourselves. Well, here's 180 degrees. It says if I scan, I see a larger and I see a smaller. So maybe I'm just going to make one larger and one smaller. I don't know what goes where, but that gives me an idea what I'm working with. It says if the larger angle measures 8 degrees more than the measure of the smaller angle, which one gets the variable? Smaller angle, find the measure. Let's underline find. We're trying to find the measure of each angle. So let x equal, I'm going to abbreviate m for measure. That's very common if that helps you. Measure of smaller angle. I'm going to pop x into that picture. Now it says the larger angle measures 8 degrees more. What does more mean? Plus than 3 times. How do I say 3 times the smaller angle? 3x, and we said more 8 plus 8 equal measure of larger. See it right there, 3 times? Yes, no, Mr. Rabbit? Okay. So here we go. And then their total again adds to how much? 180. Very good. So 1x plus 3x is how many x's? 4 x's plus 8 is equal to the 180. I'm going to subtract over 8 and get down to 172. And x is going to be equal to 63. Now that's x. X does happen to be the measure of the smaller, so we can put a degree on that. Did I do that correctly? $43. Let's go with that. That seems a lot better. I think I was thinking 16 in my head, and it came out with 4. Or 6 instead of 4. Anyway, let's keep going on. So here is the measure of the smaller. Now we're going to do triple of 43. Let's break that up. Triple of 40. And triple of 3. So 129 plus 8. 137. Very good. So we have 43 degrees and 137 degrees are the measures of the angles. Now, do those add to 180 if we double check it? Yes? Then I think we've got the right answer. We've got one more. In an isosceles triangle. Ooh, isosceles. What does that mean? Two sides are equal. What also are equal? Which angles? We call them at the bottom. What's another name for bottom? Base. Very good. Those are equal as well. Oh, look. It says the base angles are 10 more than half that of the other angle. He got listed last. He gets the variable. Good. And it says find the measure of each angle. Okay. So we said this guy at the top, well, he's not really, doesn't have to be at the top. He's the last one listed. He gets the variable. Let x equal measure of other angle. Okay, now it says the base angles are 10 more. What does more mean? Plus half that of the other angle. How do we say half that? Half of x or x divided by 2. Which would you guys like to do? Half of x. So half of x and 10 more. Now that's this guy. Should we list him again? Sure, Miss Williams. We're going to list him twice. Okay, measure of base 1. Half x plus 10 equals measure of base 2. I'm going to recommend that you always write them out because I find my students who don't write them out, they forget that there's a second or third one there. Okay, now the sum of the entire triangle is how much again? 180. Okay, now, careful with this. Half x plus half x is a whole x. Good. So 1x plus 1x is 2x's, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So we have subtract over 20, we're dealing with 160, and then we have 80. Now that does happen to be the measure of this guy. What's half of 80? 40. Plus 10. Okay, so the measures of the angles are 50 degrees, 50 degrees, and 80 degrees. Now, does that add to 180? Yes. Perfect. Okay, so tonight as we're going to go through it, I will be looking for let statements as your first thing. I'm going to look for your starting equation. Show me what you start with. I'm going to be looking for your final, and I'm going to be looking for a nice sentence answer. So 4 points per question. So make sure you have all 4 items. Now, your homework, I gave you yellow notes today. You get yellow homework.
Yay. Woo.